Today we're going to talk some more about how to set up your stamps for eBay. eBay's just great. I think it's becoming the in thing for people to do. But here we go. We'll turn around, and we like to turn around and match up our stamps according to the country. Look at this one. Love this. So I have all these stamps here, the 1, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, and these are all used, but you'll find a lot of those that have airplanes. They sell pretty good. So I put them all together as a set. So I like selling a set because it helps me to liquidify a little bit faster. But also, if someone's going to start a collection, it'd be nice to put sets together. It makes the buying better, easier. Of course, instead of one stamp at a time and they, go through a bidding process, I put a set price right on it because you can have it go to auction where people bid. But a lot of people, if they don't bid on it, then someone can get it for really cheap. But I want to know what I'm going to get. So I prefer the right out selling. I don't want to go to auction. I want to buy it now. I don't know. To me, that way I have better control. Okay, so then I have some here that I put together. Now these are rather valuable. So, and if you notice, back then it wasn't a cancellation. It was, they wrote on it. You'll find a lot of these were back in the 1800s. These ones are all Internal Revenue ones. But you see the stamps all in good condition. Some not properly centered. But hey, that's how things were. Okay, so these could be some nice valuable ones. Of course, you check your preparation, you take your measurements, and I use a really nice Sony camera, so works out pretty good. Here's another US one. Of course, this one's a pretty valuable one too. So sometimes people say, oh, I can buy this stamp for $5, or a couple of bucks. Well, do a little bit of research on the stamps before you buy. And always, if you see a little detail, always put a little detail about the stamp. So what I do is now this one's not all the same pictures, but all from the same country. Different time, like this one's a very old one. And look at this one, it says official. So in description, always put the little details of what you find. So I found this one said official, so in my description, I put that in there, because that's very important. Because yellow is never a good color for stamps, because you could hardly see it. Okay, but then look at some of that. Oh, really nice. Okay, any little details. So first you take the picture of the group of all of them together. And then you take the picture of each one separately. And then, of course, people are always interested in the back. So always make sure you flip them all over according to how you started your top picture. So they'll see, okay, that stamp was in line there. So that's the back of that one. So they can all know. Now this one had one tiny little detail. See that tiny little hole? It's like someone pinned it up on a board. Little tiny pinhole. So it's very important, even though the stamp may be a nice valuable one, be sure to put that in the description, because you don't want to be faking anybody out or, being deceiving anyone in any way. So always make sure to put all the tiny little details. Of course, if they look at it, they could definitely see it. But sometimes people move through stamps fast and they don't notice the little tiny details. So that's what's wrong with this one. Okay. And then sometimes you get them like this, all from Jamaica, but the top two are together. So that would be something that you would put in your description, that two of the stamps are together. That's very important. People like that. And now this one here, look at this. Pakistan. But the important thing is, you know, it may say 1, but it got changed to, 1.5, but it got changed to a 1. And it also says service. So that's very important. See on this one? It says service. And then this service is in red. But these are all the little things you put in your description. That one, it says service. That might interest someone. Makes it just a little bit more value because they're looking at the price you're putting and they're adding it up. They're doing their research to see, okay, how much is this stamp really valued at? And if I gave it to an auction house, how much would they sell it for? Because you can check the auction houses, you know, like Cherry Stone Auctions, you know, and many other ones, and see exactly the same stamp and how much one of these stamps were worth. You can really find that when you do, you know, like the American ones. You know, you really find the value. Okay, now let's take this one here. Now look at that. What's really neat is it all says 1957. 1957. And this was how they did their cancellation. But you know the year. So when you look at a stamp, you know, especially stamp collectors, they look at all these details. Perfect condition. It's got the cancellation. We know what year the stamp was used by the cancellation. It helps you to look it up too. Gold Coast. There you go. Okay. And this one here, I really like this one because the 3 top ones are the same, just different value. And the 3 bottom ones are the same, just different values. And they all go to 1914 if you notice the date. So always look for dates. Always look for every little tiny thing. As you can see, they're unused. They look good. People prefer the unused to anything else, but you know, if they're used, it can still be of value because sometimes the cancellation on them, or sometimes just the extra writing, like look at this, 1905. Now you know exactly when this one was stamped. That's a long time ago. 116 years old. And still holding, huh? Look at the condition of that. Really good. So you get to see that. Yeah, the others. All the same fella. All from the same place. And only one has a cancellation. The others were just part of the set they had collected way back then. Alright. So I hope you're getting a general idea of how to match them up if you're ready to liquidate and pass your collection on to the newer generation. Let them hold on to it. By the time they reach our age, retirement age, they'll have some valuable stamps on hand. Alright, hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you, and they're all up on eBay. These are all part of what I put up yesterday. Of course, I'm a beginner, so I'm feeling it all out as I go. Alrighty, bye-bye.